Today, I'm going to give you a health warning. Very serious. Going out to all you wind players. You know, playing a musical instrument, you can have health problems. Mostly they're some chronic problems like, I stopped playing for about 10 years because some personal problems, but also because I had some really bad back problems. I'm a trombone player. Holding up the instrument caused me to have back problems. I even ended up in the hospital. But I also have some carpal tunnel here. I have pains in my shoulder, but they aren't going to kill me. So today I'm going to talk to you about something that can kill you, literally kill you, a condition that all wind players are at risk. So please keep watching this. Keep watching to the end. I'm going to tell you my story about this. So I also have to state that I'm not a doctor. I'm not giving you medical advice. I'm just saying, giving you a warning. So please remember this, and also try and help me out continuing my channel by subscribing and liking. Hit those buttons for me, please. Right now, do it. Do. Did you? Okay. This is how I discovered my problem. Serious health problem. I started playing my trombone again. I told you for about 10 years. About a couple of years ago, I started practicing every day, getting ready. I even had taught a workshop, and a lot of the local jazz clubs want me to come and play. Some of the big bands want me to play, but I'm also have trouble with my eyesight, so it's not the best idea as reading music. So this is how I discovered the problem. About 6 months ago, at the end of October 2024, I was practicing every day, doing normal stuff. A week before, I had my flu vaccine and also a tetanus booster. And a short time after this booster, I noticed, I took my blood pressure. I wasn't feeling so good. Took my blood pressure and noticed that I have high blood pressure, so I take medication for that, and I took my blood pressure, which I do regularly, and noticed this also shows my heartbeat, and it had a little lightning bolt next over my heartbeat. I said, what is this showing? Irregular, not a normal heartbeat. So I checked it. I checked my pulse. I know what to do through here, and I checked, wait a minute. Every once in a while I had a strange feeling, and my heart would beat regularly. I'm a musician, so I know rhythm. And it would beat, 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 beat. We're skipping beats. So what the heck is going on? So what I did, I said, it must be just a reaction to the vaccines. Must be. So I waited a week or so. Got worse. Started getting worse. I said, I better have this checked out. So I tried to contact my health center and schedule an appointment with my family doctor. It turns out she was not working because she had a baby, had a difficult pregnancy, and was not available, and that she wouldn't be available for a couple of months. Well, I don't think I could wait a couple of months. It was getting worse. I was getting worried. Recovered totally from my vaccines. That couldn't be causing it. What is causing my heartbeat to beat irregularly? It was getting a little bit worse, just not really, but just various times a day, especially later in the evening. I said, wait a minute, later in the evening. I had some blood pressure medication early on when I first discovered. I would take it in the morning. My blood pressure would be normal, then and towards the evening it would go back to being high blood pressure. It would wear off. And then I got a newer medication, and it seemed to be better. So I thought, oh, maybe I need to upgrade my blood pressure medication, since it seems to be mostly in the evening. But I need a doctor for that. Then I remembered, oh, that's right, I have a supplemental insurance, because here in Portugal it doesn't cost you anything to go to the doctor, but you can get a supplemental insurance plan, which costs a few hundred euros, excuse me, a year, not very much, and this gives you access to discounts at private medical centers and home visits and things like that. So I called them up and said, I need to make an appointment with a cardiologist. He said, okay. Like 3 days later, they made an appointment. In the mall here, there's a big health center, Joaquim Chaves. Very nice. I've been before for my eye appointments, get really good discounts. I made the appointment, went to the doctor, and told him my problem and then why I was worried. And one of the main reasons I was worried, because one of my idols growing up was a trumpet player. His name is Don Ellis, big band leader. And when he was 44 years old, he died of a heart attack. And in 1974, he had was going up a flight of stairs and was out of breath. And, you know, that's not normal. He was only in his 30s then. 38, 39 years old, and he's out of breath going up a flight of stairs. So he went to the doctor, and they said, oh, you have an irregular heartbeat. Holy smokes. So the doctors of that time, they prescribed him medication, and they didn't know the cause. They didn't understand the cause. He went to another doctor and kept having problems and dizzy spells. One doctor said, in 1975, said, you need to stop touring, you need to slow down, you need to slow down your playing, because this stress is causing you problems in your heart. Well, he refused. Kept playing, 1978. A bad year, because for me, for two of my idols passed away. Frank Rossellino in around Thanksgiving time. And then Don Ellis was on tour, recorded one of my favorite albums of his, and in the middle of the tour he passed out after a concert, went home to Thanksgiving to LA, Los Angeles for his home, and he had a heart attack and went to the hospital, and a short time later he passed away. That was bad. So I went to my cardiologist and I mentioned my problems, gave him my history. You know, as a kid I had a heart murmur, but nothing serious heart problems. I have high blood pressure. And he explained to me, the biggest causes are two biggest causes are high blood pressure and stress. Then he asked what I do. I said, I'm a trombone player, I'm a brass player. He said, there's another cause. Many brass players, wind players, have problems with arrhythmia because of the buildup and pressure in your lungs, especially trumpet players, because they use a lot of air pressure to get the high notes, especially lead trumpet players. And it can cause them to have arrhythmia. But he said, I can't just diagnose this. You know, he listened to my heart, he checked my blood pressure, but he said, we need two tests. One is a electrocardiogram, but not just at that time, because he listened to my heart, it was fine. At that time, was beating normally, because it's intermittent problem, just comes and goes. He said, you need two tests. It's an EKG, but it's 24 hours. We put on a device, a Holter device, goes around, and they put the stuff all over, and it records my EKG over 24 hours. And also, they have something that I'm familiar with, the Doppler radar, Doppler examination, because I have a son. He's 15, and 15 years ago, when my wife was pregnant, went and had the ultrasound. It's called ultrasound, and this is the same technology. And they look at the heart, do a Doppler radar exam of the heart, and I scheduled that in. I got the results. Here is an example of 1 page of 17, I think, of the EKG analysis. Really thorough analysis. I'll hold it steady. You could see that there's something wrong there. That's one example of when my heartbeat didn't beat. And also, this is what the picture of my heart looks like. Here's my heart. I give you my heart to you. Here's my heart. That's what it looks like, and they have a full analysis and all this stuff, which I don't understand. What my cardiologist does, I went to the Doppler technician, said, your heart looks fine. You don't have anything major wrong with your heart. Nothing physical. Nothing. No heart attack. I didn't have anything going on. Nothing bad. Nothing. He had already prescribed me on stronger blood pressure medication, but I was still having. But in the meantime, still my heart was not beating normally. So he looked at my results and said, I have good news for you. This problem is not serious. I was like, you don't have a major heart problem. Your heart is strong. I was running the summer before. I was doing the exercises. I'm pretty active. So he said, we could control this with medication. And I had read a little bit about this, some medications. He said, I'll give you these medications. He prescribed it to me, and then I started taking the medications, and about a week later it started to reduce. And about a month later, I had even had some days where I didn't have any arrhythmias, nothing. It was really working well, this medication. Watch to the end and I'll tell you about the medication. Even though I'm not a doctor, I'm not saying you need this medication. But it went on. I went like 3 days without any something just fell. Any arrhythmias. I started playing again, practicing. I had stopped, of course, after my first consultation. I stopped playing. I started playing again, and then about 3 days after practicing, my heart started having some arrhythmia again. So I stopped again and continued the medication for about another month. The prescription was for 3 months, and it was getting into the third month, and I had 2 weeks, no arrhythmia. I was like, am I in the clear? But I don't know. Do I need to continue? Do I need to renew the prescription? So I made another appointment with the cardiologist, and right at the end of my prescription, well, it was going to run out. So I went to the consultation, and he wasn't there. And I asked him, I don't know. He's not. The people in the front didn't know what happened. They tried to call him and said, well, we'll reschedule. And they said, well, my prescription has run out. Can you renew it? Well, he has to renew it. So we'll call him in the meantime and see if it's really necessary to, it's urgent, and we'll reschedule another appointment for 5 days later. So, okay, I think I'm okay. I can last 5 days without the medication. So about 2 days after not having the medication, I started having that hollow feeling here, a strange feeling in my chest, and my heartbeat was starting to skip beats again. I was like, oh no. So I went to the consultation, and he said, well, and I told him what had happened, and he said, you can't just stop that medication all at once. It has to be under supervision of a cardiologist if you're going to stop. But he said, your heart probably you're not totally healed or no. I mean, some people, I said, do I have to take this the rest of my life? And he said, well, it's possible you have to take this medication the rest of your life, or you may get better and you don't have to take it. We can only see. And I said, this is so strange. And he said, let me explain. He told me, let me explain this medication, how it works, and why wind players, especially trumpet and trombone, even in fact tuba player, he has one of his clients is a tuba player. I mean, he has a lot of musicians. I got lucky with this cardiologist because he treats a lot of musicians. Of course, everybody, anybody can have problems with their heart. So he explained to me a little more fully how this medication works and why we as wind players have this problem. I said the increased pressure in the lungs. What does that cause, the increased pressure? It causes stress on your system, on your respiratory system. It's called stress. Just like all stress, even if you're a distance runner, or if you're in a very stressful job, a policeman or fireman, you undergo a lot of stress. What happens when you undergo stress? Your body reacts. It's called your nervous system reacts. Everything. It's called the stress response system of your body, and it releases a hormone. The main hormone is called adrenaline. When you're under stress, your adrenaline rushes, and when you're, and it's the same thing for a musician. This adrenaline increases and increases, and it can interrupt your heart rate, right? It affects your muscles. This hormone, the adrenaline, it can increase your blood pressure, and I have blood pressure, which is not a good thing. Stimulates your muscles, to run, and then you're under stress, you run fast, you stimulate your muscles. The problem is, your heart is also a muscle. And if it overstimulates your heart, it can cause your heart to beat without rhythm. Oh, okay, that makes sense. So yes, musicians have stress in their lives. I'm trying to make a living performing in front of tens of thousands of people, which I have performed in front of tens of thousands of people. I have some people have stress just giving a speech in front of 20 or 30 people. Putting yourself out there is stressful. I've had stress all my life, and recently I've had a lot of stress in my life because I've lost some close people in my life since 2001. 5 people have passed, causing a lot of stress in my life, but also playing this instrument. So, obviously, the day I renewed my prescription and started taking this medication again, my heart rate, my arrhythmias went away. So now I'm starting to practice again gradually. So far, about a week, and I don't have any recurrence. He gave me a 7-month supply and said, it's 6 months, a month before the prescription runs out, make another appointment, and we'll see if we need to continue. I said, okay, I can do that. So I'll write it on my calendar. And imagine this, if you have any symptoms, any irregularities, don't blow it off. Make as soon as possible. Make either appointment with your family doctor or a cardiologist. Have it checked out, especially if you're a wind player, especially if you're a trumpet player. Trumpet players, I have 2 other friends that have problems with the arrhythmia, trumpet player friends, for other reasons, not just playing trumpet, but, it aggravates, you can have other health problems that cause arrhythmia, like being overweight or having heart operations. One of my friends had a heart operation, and the scar tissue built up on the heart, and he had to have what's called an ablation because his heart started beating irregularly, an ablation, and I was fine. So have it checked out. Don't mess around with this. It can be life-threatening. It can lead to a heart attack. And like Don Ellis died way before his time. He was only 44 when he died, Imagine, he would probably still be alive today if he would have followed his doctor's advice or had the medications we have now and the tools, diagnostic tools we have. He might still be alive playing today, Don Ellis. So please subscribe to my channel, and once my chops get in shape, I'll make some more videos. Heed this warning. The name of the medication is a bisoprolol, strange name, bisoprolol, and it works by reducing the adrenaline. It's called a beta blocker, and it has been around for 30 years, but it was more for people who have heart attacks. It was given to help people recover from heart attacks, and they discovered that also it helps with arrhythmia, and now it's being prescribed for people with arrhythmia because now they understand more about how this adrenaline affects your heart. So I'm feeling much better. I'm starting to make videos again. Please just prescribe. Peace out.